Libyan rebels were taking joyrides today in armored vehicles seized when the army in the eastern half of the country gave up the fight. In Tobruk, we got a first-hand look at the power vacuum left behind. A people's militia on the side of the protesters gave us a tour of a weapons depot they were guarding. The ground was littered with dangerous munitions, scattered when the retreating troops loyal to Gaddafi blew up the bunkers to keep the weapons out of rebel hands. One underground cache is still intact. These men told us they're all local people who will stay on guard here until order is restored. Muammar Qaddafi was back on state TV today, painting a very different picture of the situation. He called in by phone to say the protesters were all misguided young people given drugs by al-Qaeda. It was a depressed rather than defiant Gaddafi who said, quote, "When the oil flow stops because of what's happening, you can bring bin Laden to provide for you." Far from Tripoli, where the fighting has died down, this is what the protests look like. A day out for the family. This is the main square in Tobruk, where protesters are here day and night calling for Gaddafi to step down. But it's also part of a celebration because this town is already part of what protesters are calling Free Libya. And this is what Free Libya looks like. Coastal cities where most Libyans live are falling like dominoes to the rebel forces. The port of Tobruk, then Derna, Baida, and Benghazi are now in the hands of protesters. And the latest word is that Misrata, a crucial town close to Tripoli, has slipped from Gaddafi's control. Benghazi saw some of the worst fighting. Today, the wounded were recovering in the hospital, and the morgue was full to capacity.
He is from the army, and he is refused to shoot the other people. They kill him.
We met a group of army officers who also refused to fight against their fellow citizens. Did you, as a group, decide to defect? They told us they all came to their decision on their own, and they insisted that Gaddafi has very little support in the army. Captain Selma Essa also made that tough call, and she knows that she now has a price on her head if Gaddafi wins this power struggle. We only have one aim. Either we all die or Gaddafi goes. I'm not scared at all, she told us. Clearly, the protesters believe it's Gaddafi who's going down, and their piece of Free Libya will get bigger day by day. The most recent fighting is now in the west of the country, in Gaddafi's stronghold. The question is whether he's consolidating his forces or if it's his last stand.
And Mandy, at this point, does Muammar Qaddafi have control over any members of his own military?
Well, we're hearing more and more reports that he's losing key units in the east of the country and relying more and more on mercenaries. Katie?
Mandy Clark reporting tonight from Libya. Mandy, thank you very much.